My name is Cody Reynolds. I'm from Beaumont, Texas, and this is my 1983 Chevy G20. It's got custom suspension done by me and a buddy of mine. He made the control arms, narrowed the track. We had to Z the front clip, cut it, raise it up, plate it all back in to get the cross member up to where it would lay flat. We did a 2-link in the rear with a panhard bar and bags over the axle. Basically, a good friend of mine in my truck club did all the paint and interior, Patrick Reed. He's out of San Leon, Texas. His business is Mad Concepts, is his business that he works out of. It's basically a tribute to my dad. We grew up going to truck-ins all our lives, and me and my brother both were actually conceived in a van at April Fool's truck-in, so it's in our blood. We kind of got into the truck scene for many years and decided, hey, let's build vans to kind of go back to what my mom and dad basically we just grew up around. So my dad actually helped me build the motor, put the cam in it, put the motor in it, and then he started getting sick. He had cancer and he ended up passing away 2 years ago. So it was all white, and I was just gonna leave it like that until that happened, and I just decided, hey, I wanna finish it completely and dedicate it to him. So the paint job has got a clean and simple paint on the driver's side. The passenger side has the graphics with words my dad said growing up throughout, the 80s and as we was kids. So it's all little sayings he used to say that we remember as kids. So like I said, it's a 1983 G20, but when I bought the van, it was wrecked, and on this side, it was in storage. It was wrecked in '86, and the guy that I bought it from passed away, and his wife sold it for $700. So it was in storage for all the way up to 2013 when I got it from him. And I went and bought a parts van. It was a '73 G20 fire department van. So I got that van for $500. So we went ahead. I like the older grills. It kind of looks like a C10 truck to me. So we went with that. We actually used the motor out of it. It only had 13,000 original miles on it. So me and my dad went through it, freshened it up, just made sure everything looked good, put cam in it, changed all the seals, the gaskets, everything. It's got aluminum radiator. The bumpers have been sectioned and shortened a little bit just to suck it in a little bit. All the bumper bolts have been smoothed out. The little carriage bolts have been taken off, and it bolts in from the back side now, kind of cleans it up. The license plate is actually off my dad's '76 Chevy van he had when we grew up, and it was called Vangie. So, and that's my mom's name too. So that's where we're at on the front of it. The windshield wipers I take off. I just like the look of it. With no wipers, I put Rain-X on it, but I can always put the wipers on. All right, now here's the paint job that's got all the graphics, got words my dad said to us as kids, like I'm your Alabama redneck, dipstick, wee doggy was a good saying he always said when he was excited. Now you're cooking with Crisco, Mutter Fudger, how about a Wish sandwich? Just different words. He did that, and I did this actually at this truck-in for my mom and dad. I got my mom's name on the passenger side, my dad's name, Bill, on the driver's side. Just a little touch I like to add, and I thought it was pretty cool. And the wheels that are on it are Billet Specialty 18 by 7s in the front and 20 by 8s in the rear. They're Speedway wheels from Billet Specialty. All right, on the back, same thing. We got the wee doggy dadgummit on the back for the graphics. The bumper's the same like the front. It's been narrowed about, I think, 2 inches on both sides. The carriage bolts have been taken out, smoothed out, and bolted from the back side. I did use the 73 door off the parts van to kind of get the 77 and down look throughout on the van with the grill and bumpers and everything. So that's basically it on the back. All the interior was basically done by the same guy that painted it, Patrick Reed. We just got it back probably 3 weeks ago. He did all the console, painted everything. Basically everything you see in here, he pretty much touched. Got new gauges in it, dolphin gauges. A steering wheel. The steering wheel was kind of like what my dad had. He had the old wood grain one, but the 3-spoke oval, old style wheel. I went with that style, kind of resembled the look of it. The shifter, he actually had that same shifter, the Budweiser shifter like that, and his 76. I got that off eBay and put it in there.
Get your plaque there.
That's him.
Yeah. How about the stereo system? What do you have in here?
Right now it's just this 2 kicker 10s and some 6x9 Pioneers. I actually got 2 subs being built to put in here when I get back, but it's all audio pipe, 1500 watt amps for the highs and the lows, Pioneer head unit. Basically got a little bench over there for people to ride. I'm thinking I may end up putting 2 more seats like what's in the front back here to have seating for 4. And I think the only thing I really have left on the van to do is I got to put vintage air in it, get some AC going on it. Maybe a little odd and end stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty much done. Other than that, I got to have AC. And that's the little urn my brother built. My dad's actually in that.
Oh, wow, there you go.
He goes everywhere we go. It ain't real special, but it's a work in progress. You know, I got the fender wells raised up. Basically, that's the 350 out of the 73 van that we pulled out. We just freshened everything up. Aluminum radiator, aluminum water reservoir for overflow. Just the basic. It ain't nothing real special. Sir?
Now it's ready for cruise.
Well, this is I cruise a lot lower than that. That's pretty much as high as you would want to go in it. But I mean, I cruise probably about 2 to 3 inches off the ground. That's where it rides the best at. But it comes up enough to go over most things, you know. So it rides real good. I mean, it rides on air. So I mean, going down the highway, it just floats going down the highway. So.
How you doing? I'm Bobby Reynolds. This is my 65 Chevrolet van. Little story behind it is my uncle was named Bobby Reynolds. He died in a 65 Chevy van just like this back in September of '77. I was born in '78. That's why my dad named me after my uncle. Growing up, my dad had several Earlys. I remember as a kid riding around town in the front seat with him. Brings back a lot of memories. That's why when he passed October of 2016, me and my brother Cody decided to bring the Vans back to our roots, where we went to the mini truckings as kids. It's a work in progress right now. It's got a full chassis underneath it with air ride. I'll have a wedge chop, 4 in the front, 2 in the rear. I'm gonna have 89 to 92-ish, the Ram Charger rear windows that kind of go up in the roof. I'm gonna invert those on top. It'll have a twin turbo LS motor in it. The turbos will be piped and mounted behind the seats. It'll be painted a black cherry pearl. Man, the possibilities are endless with this thing, because it's kind of the beginning stages. But they are Boyd Coddington Espadas. They're 20 by 8s in the front, 20 by 12s in the rear. I've shaved the gas door. I'm going to shave all the hinges, all the emblems. I have the tail light that folds out where the gas will be put in later. Like I said, it's just a work in progress, but it's got a lot of meaning and means a lot to me. So the front bumper is going to be removed. It'll have a roll pan. It's been converted to a right-hand drive. It's got a steering box from a 98 to 02 Isuzu Rodeo, which allows the steering to come out front and back to the independent rear front suspension. It's got a 92 Cavalier rack and pinion, Mustang 2 drop spindles. Especially whatever I could go to the salvage yard and look under and crawl under and see what would work is how I figured it out and put it all together. So it's got a fully built Ford 9-inch Stranger in, disc brakes, posi. I mean, it'll definitely take the abuse that it'll get from the 700 horsepower turbo LS. Started on the build. I actually bought it, Chris Manshak. I had a 65 that I was gonna build, but it was in pretty rough shape. And I posted on, I think, the Vintage Van Facebook page. I was needing a parts van for the new front nose. And he messaged me and said, hey, I have one. He goes, I bought it, I was gonna build it, but I found a rust-free van in Arizona. So this is basically for parts. I asked him what he wanted for it. He said, man, for 300 bucks, if you can come get it and give me some extra cash, I got a pile of parts to go with it. So me and a buddy of mine, Chad Rape, loaded up. I worked nights that night, got up that morning, and we drove to Alabama, which is about 6.5 hours in the snow. Actually, it was kind of crazy because Texas doesn't get snow where we're from, but it snowed for 2 days, and we made the trip and went and picked it up. Had a pile of parts, extra doors, a whole extra side. I basically had to replace all the lowers all the way around, but it was definitely an experience and a fun trip. So.
And you had to fabricate all this, you said? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I fabricated all the chassis. I actually started the build March of this year. So I guess 4 months ago. I hit it pretty hard and heavy, just trying to get it here. Just bought a house. We had 7 foot of water in our house after Hurricane Harvey. So I've been kind of busy trying to get all that squared up, and I finally got caught up to a point where I could start on the van to get it ready for Nats, and it was long hours and long days, so I got a pretty understanding wife. So I got the tail light that has a gas door hinge off of, I think it's an Isuzu Amigo, and it folds down. That's where the gas filler will be. I built a roll pan and shaved the bumper in the rear. That's about it.